Okay, guys, so I'm gonna be talking about the trailer for the sixth and final season of Better Call Saul. And yeah, I'm not gonna be talking about shot for shot that we saw in the trailer. I'm just gonna be talking about the characters with their respected shots, images, and whatnot. So I'm gonna be starting with the main character, Goodman. So we see that it goes good for him, but I think this might be like in season 5 or in the first episodes, it goes good for him until someone else shows up, convinces him to do something, and things go down south. We hear him say, "The wicked flee when no man pursueth." So with this phrase that he said, I think he's finally accepted his dark side, his darkness of being Saul Goodman. So I think, he's like, yeah, man, I'm good at this. This is what I was made for, and let's go, bring it on in. And Kim Wexner asked him, "You think we're wicked?" So I think this might be where they have a falling out. Kim Wexner is telling him that they're going too far and whatnot, and Goodman disagreeing with her, and that's where they tell each other to F off. He tells her to F off, and vice versa, and maybe that's where they have their falling out. And also, he comes in the nail salon and asks, "Who's here to see Saul Goodman?" So I think, we're going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces that come out in Breaking Bad. One of them being Scooge, the guy who got his head crushed by an ATM machine in Breaking Bad. And we see him before he looks like a zombie, like a walking corpse. And we see his Cadillac, the famous Cadillac that we see in the intros of the show. And we also see the inflatable Statue of Liberty, and I think also his famous office at the strip mall. So that obviously he gets it now that he has expanded, that he's grown his customer base. I don't know. Yeah, basically he got more customers and all that stuff, more money, and he upgraded. He doesn't do his lawyer stuff in the nail salon anymore. Now it's in the strip mall. So the Cadillac, some people say that it was a gift from the cartel, but I doubt it, because seeing how he ended things with Lalo, I doubt he would accept a gift from him. The Statue of Liberty, the inflatable. I think he may get that recycled or something. Maybe a store threw it out after a 4th of July sale. And he was like, "Oh, hell no, I'm not letting this go to waste." So next up, Kim Wexler. We see her turning sideways, turning around to see something or someone who is behind her, or that is behind her. And she looks a bit aged up, so I think this takes place in the timeline of Breaking Bad. So maybe she had something to do with one of the events in Breaking Bad that we don't know about it or anything. Or maybe she's looking to take down Goodman after knowing that Goodman's involved with Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. This is just me speculating, coming out with my own theory, so, I could be wrong. Or better yet, this might be in the timeline of Gene Takovic, and instead of seeing it in black and white, we see it all in color. So maybe Takovic goes up to her, says Kim, and then she turns around, and we also hear her ask Howard Hamlin, "Are you building the case against Jimmy?" To which Howard Hamlin responds, "I'm just getting warmed up." So I think Howard Hamlin has caught up to them, Goodman and Kim Wexler, and Kim Wexler is trying to probably talk him out of it or something. And one of the shots with Howard Hamlin, we see him talking with another lawyer. Damn mouth of mine. We see him talking with another lawyer, and the point of view that we're seeing is like someone is looking at him from afar. I don't know if it's Goodman wanting to plan another prank or something, like in season 5, or that it's one of the cartel guys targeting him. Next, we see Nacho Varga, and things don't look good for him. We see him running away after that whole massacre in Lalo's Hacienda at the end of season 5. He's running away, he's hiding, and we see him like a badass hiding with 2 guns ducked under the car seat, diving underwater in a sewer or something like that. We do see one scene that's really interesting. We see him crying. Not crying, but looking sad, so I think maybe they shot his father. Somebody told him about it. Or maybe he's just stressed out about the situation. Okay, so next we go to Lalo Salamanca. We see a shot of him pulling down a bandana from his face. So most likely he's the one after Nacho Varga. And we also see another interesting thing. We see him in the back behind a man who was washing his face or something. The man is smiling. So I think that's the real Jorge de Guzman, whose name was used in season 5. Maybe this man was actually for by the police, federales, DEA, and all that, DEA, and all that. And he decided to use a double in order to avoid persecution. So, look, my theory on this is that it's a connection to the disappearer or to Jimmy In and Out from Breaking Bad. You know that episode where that's named after the show, where some imposter Heisenberg takes credit for selling the meth and all that and gets himself arrested by the DEA voluntarily. So besides him, I think there was another man who did that, and this one was Jorge de Guzman. Some people say it's another Salamanca, but I think that it would be stupid. If they're gonna use another Salamanca, they should use one that only came out in one scene, one episode, and immediately died. I'm talking, of course, about Joaquin, Hector Salamanca's grandson. He died in the crawl space episode. So, it would be cool if they showed more of his involvement with the cartel. Like, what else did he do during his time in the family business? Okay, so next up, Mike Ehrmantraut. We see him in Nacho Vargas' house. He's investigating. I don't know if this is gonna be mirroring what he was doing in Breaking Bad in the beginning of season 3, where he went to visit Pinkman after Jay Margolis died, where he was throwing away all the drugs, the guns, and all the bad stuff that could incriminate him. So I don't know if he'll be doing the same thing with Varga, going to his house, getting rid of all the drugs and all the other things that could incriminate him. Cleaning up, being a cleaner. And we see the place ransacked, so I think this might be Lalo Salamanca's doing, or other killers from the cartel. And I think another familiar face from the cartel might come back, Gaff. He was the one in Breaking Bad who was shooting at Gus Fring's men when they were outside of the laundromat. And we have also seen Nacho Varga's girlfriends. They were in like a corner hugging each other in fear. So I think they died, and that's why Mike Ehrmantraut is there to clean up after the mess, after the person who did this. Or maybe that they find that Mike finds them and they get scared, not knowing if he's friend or foe. And another interesting thing is we hear the phrase, whatever you think is going to happen, it's not going to go down the way you think it is. Something along the lines like that. People say it's Walter White, but I highly doubt it, because I do think it's Mike Ehrmantraut. And we also see him in his attire from the season 5 episode when they were in the desert. So my theory is that Mike Ehrmantraut is the one who kills Lalo and doesn't tell Goodman about it. Just like in season 5 where he didn't want to tell him about the ambush at the desert in the Bagman episode. Yeah, part 2 of this is coming up, so stay tuned.